Hey there friends, and welcome back to the channel for more Project Zomboid content. The Indie Stone have just released their latest Thursdoid titled My Zeds Is On Fire. If you do find this video helpful, please be sure to subscribe to the channel for even more Project Zomboid content. The Indie Stone kick off the dev post by talking about Fire and the changes they are planning to make to it, saying that they are continuing work on their Fire rework branch with the intention of bringing it to a state that they can enter it into their internal test build. The Indie Stone have also released a video for us. The first half of the video shows some of the foundations that are being done, in terms of how fire spreads, how size and duration is governed, and the sort of stats that lie beneath the hood that they can balance with, and what the community will be able to mod with. The Indie Stone then go on to say that they are done with their old fire effects, which they say are too transparent. The second part of this video then moves on to show their experimentation with fire visuals, working alongside their VFX artist friend Brian, trying to work out different ways to make the in-game flame effects better match the particularly coloured Project Zomboid ISO world. Next up, the Indie Stone go on to talk about crafting and the work they have been doing. They have given us a video which is a very work in progress version of the current crafting improvements that have surfaced. The Indie Stone do stress that this is the visible tip of the iceberg and what's on show clearly isn't final. It's just an idea of what they've been working on. So this is where we move on to some super complicated stuff. So what was on show in the video? Well, various objects can now be entirely created using the game's scripting language that's been made similar to the way items and vehicles etc. are defined. This covers various currently planned objects that can function as a craft station. Stuff like the blacksmith furnace, tailor and bench, fletchery, brewing stands, kilns etc. And unlike the way it is now, these can also be objects consisting of multiple tiles, sprites with various rotations, etc. At a craft station, the player is able to use their normal recipes, but it's here that they can use their blueprints, and which ones are available will be defined by the associated object script. Blueprints are similar to recipes in that they can take inputs and produce outputs. However, they are distinct from your usual recipes in the following ways. They have different duration modes, for example in real world seconds, game minutes, or they can run passively in the background for long periods. They may not require the player to be present, for example a melting process may run on the craft station while you run off to do other things. As well as items, they can take the input and produce fluids and different in-game energies such as electric, heat, kinetic or steam. When active, a blueprint in progress can store its inputs or outputs and may have storage capacity for them. For example, a blueprint that needs water as input may well have an internal storage buffer for water. So it looks like the crafting system has some pretty awesome changes to come, and I for one am very excited for this. The Indie Stone then move on to talking about the revamped fishing and how they have been largely working on an improved control system for a more chilled out and less button-holdy tappy experience. You can see the changes that the Indie Stone have planned for fishing in my previous Thursdoid video. Not only are the Indie Stone working on a more controlled system, they have also been working with their VFX friend Brian, who has been supplying various splashes, bubbles and signs of water movement that will indicate the presence of a fish. These changes will also suggest the size of what lurks beneath. The Indie Stone have also said that we can expect to see a lot of bass. Largemouth, smallmouth, white, spotted and striped are just examples. The Indie Stone then move on to talk about animals, and RJ is quoted as saying, "I've been diving more and more into a farm animals designation zones, which are paddocks you outline for your animals to occupy, as long as they don't get loose, and where the game will allow you to do all your various primary animal rearing tasks. For most of this week, I've been refactoring and simplifying my animal behaviour and metacode. But there's a few interesting things to mention. Cows and sheep can now recognise a roof area and stay under it during heavy rain. I've been trying to get sheep to move in more of a flock most of the time, and baby animals will follow their mother more correctly. You can also now drop food directly on the ground for them to eat, or in the feed and trough container, where it won't spoil quite so quickly. Also, among other things, hair care, first aid, drop-in bags, new emergency broadcast system noises, the sound team have also started making animal noises. Could you hear that? The cows now have hoof steps, which is such an awesome change, and it's really going to make Project Zomboid feel even more alive. Lastly, the Indie Stone talk about how they are working on the multiplayer and that they are currently transferring player inventory actions away from the client side and onto the server side, and that they have another 3 or 4 weeks for the first stage of this. Once the first stage has been completed, they will then move on to the second major part of the code. This will result in having the item manipulation occurring on the server side and ensuring that the server no longer trusts clients. So stuff like item add-in cheats are going to be rendered useless. Anyway, that's it for this Thursdoid. Be sure to leave a comment down in the description below what you're most looking forward to in this latest Thursdoid. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you have enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.